Welcome to DataViz Daily. I'm Kevin McGinley coming to you live from a hotel room in San Francisco, and I thought I'd pick up from where I left off yesterday, working with that fantasy football quarterback data that I was wrangling a little bit, and I thought I would kind of do a little bit of an analysis around fantasy football quarterbacks and rushing touchdowns, because that's something that you kind of always have to balance how that comes into play when you're drafting a quarterback. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick visualization here using our yearly data, quarterback name, and our rushing TDs. I'll let the tool pick the best visualization for me. And you can see it picked a stacked bar chart by year. This is kind of interesting, seeing that we definitely had a decrease in rushing touchdowns in 2014, increase in 2015 over 2013. But this is kind of way too much data for me to look at right now. So let's kind of focus a little bit on zeroing in on the quarterbacks that had at least more rushing touchdowns than most. So if we do a filter here on rushing touchdown, you saw that I right-click there. I get a nice chart here that tells me sort of where my distribution lies. Obviously, there are a lot of quarterbacks that never get any kind of rushing touchdown whatsoever. So let's kind of bump the slider up a little bit and see if we get what we're looking for. This is better, but I think I could take this a bit higher to really focus the analysis a bit. Let's really get to those quarterbacks that are really rushing a lot. Okay, so we've got a better breakdown, but this visualization doesn't really help me see things super clearly. It's, I can kind of get the sense of it, but it's, I have to really kind of bounce back and forth between the legend and the bars and kind of take into account the year. Maybe a line chart would be a better choice here because we're kind of doing it by year. Don't want to necessarily see it stacked. Well, no, that doesn't really help too much. Maybe just looking at this from just a pure bar chart perspective. So let's maybe do a horizontal bar without actually stacking it. Okay, that doesn't help exactly get what we're looking for. Maybe if we dragged year up into our trellis column so that we could get a sense going across the screen, how our quarterback distribution was year over year. And this does start to paint a better picture. You can start to see, based on the legend here, which quarterbacks are sort of consistent, 2013 to 14 to 15. Our colors are off a little bit, though. We got a lot of green going on here and some repetition of the yellow. So I'm going to do a little bit of a color alteration here. So I can come here to the properties, manage my color assignments. And you'll notice that it's assigning colors to quarterbacks that I'm not even displaying. And so maybe this default palette is not the best. And instead we can go with this Alt 30 because there are a lot more colors on the palette to create a little bit more of a distribution. And so when we go ahead and choose that, you can see now we have consistently different colors for all the different quarterbacks. And here's where you can see that quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, had a really good year in 2014, but 2013, 2015, wasn't hitting that mark of sort of greater than 4 touchdowns, where someone like Cam Newton consistently year over year is definitely getting over 4 rushing touchdowns per year. So if you're going to go look and sort of validate one of those two quarterbacks versus the other, Cam might be your better choice over Russell Wilson. We'll keep exploring this analysis tomorrow. Make sure to tune in, and thanks for watching.